The $87,000 truck that's quietly wrecking your wealth. Here's a number that should make you uncomfortable. The average new pickup truck now costs $87,000. That's not a typo, and it's not some loaded diesel dually with every option box checked. That's just the average transaction price on a full-size truck today. If you finance that truck to get to job sites, tow equipment, haul materials, or run your own business, you didn't make a bad decision. Trucks are legitimately part of the job for a lot of you. But nobody ever sat you down and showed you what that payment actually costs you over the life of the loan, or what it's quietly doing to everything else you're trying to build. So let's break it down. First, let's talk about the payment itself. An $87,000 truck financed over 72 months at a normal interest rate runs you somewhere around $1,400 a month once you factor in tax, title, registration, and the full insurance coverage a lender is going to require if there's a loan sitting on the title. That's nearly $17,000 a year leaving your account before you've bought a single gallon of fuel, a single tool, or paid a single household bill. For a lot of tradespeople, that one truck payment is bigger than their mortgage or their rent. And because it feels like a work expense instead of a personal splurge, people rarely question it the way they'd question spending $17,000 a year on anything else. It just gets waved through every month on autopilot. Second, and this is the part almost nobody talks about, trucks depreciate faster than almost anything else you'll ever finance. A brand new truck loses roughly 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot, and another 10 to 15% every single year after that. So 3 years into a 72-month loan, it's completely normal to owe more on the loan than the truck is actually worth on the open market. That's called being upside down. And it means if the truck gets totaled, stolen, or you need to sell it because work slows down or the contract ends, you're the one writing a check to the bank to cover the difference, not the other way around. That's a brutal position to be in during a slow season when cash is already tight. Third, the I need it for work trap is real, but it's also where a lot of tradespeople talk themselves into more truck than the job actually requires. A work truck should be sized to the work. Payload capacity, towing capacity, bed length, the actual jobs you run week to week, not to how it looks parked outside a job site or next to your buddy's rig in the driveway. Every extra $10,000 of truck you don't actually need for the work is $10,000 that could have gone toward better tools, a down payment on land, a paid-off trailer, or your retirement account instead. None of that shows up on the dealership sticker, but it shows up in your net worth 10 years from now. Quick disclaimer here, because this is the part that touches real money decisions. This is general financial education based on typical numbers, not personalized financial advice for your specific loan, credit profile, or situation. Run your own numbers or talk to a professional before making a big move either way.
So here's what actually works. Rule 1. Cap your total vehicle payment, including insurance, at 10% of your gross monthly income. Not whatever the finance office says you're approved for, because approval and affordability are two completely different numbers, and the dealer has zero incentive to tell you the difference. Rule 2. Buy the truck that matches your actual workload today, not the one you might need for some bigger contract someday. You can always upgrade later using cash or built-up equity once that bigger work is actually in hand, instead of financing the hope of it now. Rule 3. If you're already carrying the big payment, don't panic and don't do anything drastic. Just stop adding to the debt pile with add-ons and upgrades and put any extra income toward paying it down faster or building a small gap fund so you're never upside down and stuck if something happens to the truck before it's paid off. Here's the truth. Nobody is saying don't buy a truck. Trucks are how a lot of blue-collar work actually gets done, and there is nothing wrong with owning a good, reliable one. The problem is financing more truck than your income can actually absorb and calling it a business expense when it's really a status symbol with a monthly payment attached. The truck doesn't build your wealth. What you don't spend on the truck is what builds your wealth. Buy the tool you need to do the job. Don't buy the trap that just looks like one. If you want the next video, we're breaking down owner-operator pay versus company driver pay dollar for dollar so you can see exactly where the real money actually is. Subscribe, because we're doing this every week.